Have you ever wondered how the biggest knife channels and content creators on YouTube and Instagram always tend to get the perfect mirror polish on their knife? How's it going, everybody? I'm Rollshambo, the connoisseur and collector of all things sharp and shiny. And if you answered yes to that question, I'm going to need you to show the like button some love. You see, at the end of the day, many of us here in the knife community have pondered, how can we get that perfect mirror polish? Because it's not as easy as just progressing up in different grits. Many would actually describe it as going down the rabbit hole of insanity. You see, when you're chasing that mirror polish, you start to notice every detail. And even if you get that scratch pattern knocked off perfectly, it might still look a little bit hazy. Why? How? How do they do it? That's a question that I asked for a long time. Well, today I'm going to share with you the answer to that question. Let's go ahead and check out how to get the perfect mirror polish on your knife. So if you're watching this far, chances are that maybe you've already tried this solution. This solution is what the knife community uses at large for polishing their bevels and taking the burr off of their edge. And this is what I mean. This is, your regular run-of-the-mill strop with some chromium oxide polishing compound on it. Now, I want to mention something. This chromium oxide compound, what it is basically it's jeweler's rouge, I guess. This is the chemical composition that they use to polish jewelry. Now, keep in mind, jewelry is made out of, softer metal materials. It's not really meant for knives. It just happens to be that it works really good for taking the burr off of an edge. So that's what a lot of people use because it's very effective at that. It will do some polishing, but here's the thing. When it comes down to newer knives these days with hardened steels that are, meant to be resistant to wear, like this S45VN, it doesn't do as good of a job. Now, on this one, you'll notice that I've got that deep polished edge. And I got that by using this. This is not chromium oxide. This is a compound, which is a liquid solution called gunny juice. Now, gunny juice basically has diamond particles in here that is suspended in a liquid. And when you apply it to a strop, it's going to act just like a sharpening stone, but at a much, much finer grit. For example, this is 1 micron, which is tens of thousands of grits. And it's not even the smallest grit level, actually, or rather the highest grit level. They go as far as 0.1 microns. And you think you can get as high as 12 or as low as 12. But my point is that you can actually do a true grit progression with just gunny juice, which is insane to me because I think that's really cool. It reduces the amount of actual sharpening on a stone that you have to do. And the beautiful thing about stropping is that it's going to take off the least amount of metal off your knife, which is very preferable. We want to keep our knives with as much metal as we can. And a lot of times when people go to sharpen their knives, they don't really need to put them on a stone. They just need to strop them to get that edge back. Maybe you went through 3 or 4 boxes. It's getting to the holiday season. We're about to have a lot of boxes. And when your knife starts to lose its edge, don't put it back on the stone. Put it on a strop. And more importantly, don't put it on this one. Put it on this one. I'm going to go ahead and put this away for now. There's nothing wrong with stropping with regular chromium oxide. It's just not as efficient or as consistent as stropping with gunny juice. So the gunny juice is going to give you a really, really nice polished edge, even if you haven't done a true grip progression. I'll show you this knife real quick. This is my Strider AR-75. And as you can tell, it's got a nice deep mirror polish on it. It's extremely reflective, and it also cuts really, really well. Here's an example. So when we look at this edge, you're going to notice that it's highly reflective. Here's the thing. I didn't do a true grip progression on this. When I reprofiled the edge bevel to make it more slicey and more user-friendly for my purposes, what I did was 300 grit down to 600 grit, and then I did the regular strop to try to see how that would work out. And this is going to be somewhere in the realm of, you know, about 2,000 to 4,000 grit, I believe. And then I went straight to the gunny juice. And so if you look closely, and you have to look like really, really closely, you might actually see a scratch pattern on there. But it's hard to notice because of how polished that is. The reason why gunny juice is so effective is that it's all the diamond particles are suspended in a liquid and then spread evenly out on this strop, which means that it's going to hit everything. You're going to have less inconsistent spots on your strop. The way that you apply it is super simple. You just basically put a couple drops and then use your finger to spread it out, wait 10 minutes, and boom, you're ready to rock and roll. And here's the thing, a small bottle like this lasts a long time because once it's on your strop, it's going to stay there for a while. You're not going to need to reload it very often at all. So this is going to last a long time. This is like 24 bucks. And guys, I'll list everything that I'm using in the video today in the description below. So if you're interested in checking it out for yourself, please feel free to do that. Is it an affiliate link? Absolutely. Feel free to use it if you want to check, if you want to support the channel, but you don't have to. I'm just listing it there for those who are interested. So this works really well for polishing that edge. And again, this one is not even a true grip progression. You can get even crazier results than this with a knife that has been truly grip progressed. I'm not sure if that's the right word. Here's an example. This is my Boker pocket smatchet, and this one has been grip progressed. I actually used lapping film. So I did 300, 600, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000, and then I finished it with the gunny juice because I wanted that consistent deep shine. And even with high grit lapping film, it wasn't giving me this deep shine. Like, this is a true mirror polish, and you can't see any scratch marks on this at all. By the time you get a polish this good, you have to have had refined that edge a lot. And so the nice thing is that when you polish your edge, you're going to get a really, really refined edge. Whether or not it holds, it has a lot to do with the steel. I encourage you to learn more about knife steels, but even if you're not looking for a true polished edge, the fact of the matter is, for example, on this one, this is the factory edge that I just ran across the strop with the gunny juice, and it works really, really easily. You would use it like you would with any other strop. It's very important to find your edge and find that bevel angle and keep it consistent. But this Spyderco Paramilitary 2 has not been sharpened at all. This is the factory edge. And so you can use this just like you would any other stropping compound and see amazing results and get nice polished results, even if you don't do a true grip progression. Like, that's just insane to me. And it's still very, very, very sharp. So yeah, the gunny juice is the way of the future. It is the way to go, and you can pick it up on Amazon. I highly suggest it, whether you're chasing a true mirror polish or not. I screwed up the audio on this last video, so I'll go ahead and just post the footage of a before and after on my Spyderco Manix 2, because I took this from a regular polish to a true mirror polish with the gunny juice. So check it out. Here it is. And it looks great, everybody. And it not only does it look great, it also performs great too. You know, here's some footage of me doing a cut test with this guy. And, you know, the way that it cuts through the paper is nice because you can tell there's no rips, there's no tears. It's just very clean and efficient. And that's something that I can truly appreciate. So if you've been looking for a consistent way to get a nice mirror polish on your edges, I highly suggest that you check out Gunny Juice. This Gunny Juice is amazing. You can get it again in like 12, 6, 3, 1, half a micron, a quarter of a micron, and then 0.1 microns. And so you could do a true grip progression and go far beyond what I've done here. But if what you're looking for is that beautiful mirror polished edge, I highly suggest it. Guys, I didn't want to ramble. I wanted to keep this short and educational. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, boo-hoo, there's a button for you too. And if you want to see more content from me and my channel, make sure you hit subscribe.